Hey, it's Williee Armellini from Flowers and Scents with your floral industry buzz. All right, today I'm very happy to interview Choice Farms. Choice Farms has been around 27 years and sort of one of the Miami pioneers, and I'm happy to get them in my interview network. George Constanza, Vicky Martinez, and Freddie Merlot, who's the president now of WUSA, were kind enough to sit with me and have a nice conversation. So, without further ado, Choice Farms. Okay, so welcome, Choice Farms. We have George Costain, we have Vicky Martinez, and we have Freddie Merlot. And I'm excited about this interview because you and I, all of us, particularly George and Vicky, have been bouncing around at conventions for, I don't know, 30 years. I don't know, long
Oh,
time.
thank you for that.
Give or take, give or take.
Well, you were only 12 when we started. Come on.
Yes, exactly.
And okay, so here's part of the history lesson. So I've been thinking and saying, where did these people come from? I know that I'm going to say Southern Rainbow. Am I right? Did any of you work for,
Yes,
you work for Southern Rainbow?
I worked with Southern Rainbow with the great Sue Conyers, who was my first manager in the flower business. I was a kid in high school.
And for Tony, where's Tony then?
Well, then Tony came into managing or being the president of Southern Rainbow. And I actually started as a clerk, like an accounting clerk, and I realized very quickly that that wasn't for me.
Okay.
And I asked him at the age of 18, I didn't know any better, can I do sales? And he said, sure, kid. And that's what happened. And
And who was before Tony?
Sue Conyers,
Oh, Sue, right, exactly.
yeah, Sue Conyers. And then
Exactly.
she went to Open World Flowers,
Right.
and Tony came in.
And George, where'd you come from?
My first flower job was in Agriflora
Ah, of
with
course.
Alvaro,
With Alvaro.
Alvaro Varela.
Of course.
I
Okay.
worked there for 6 years.
Good
Uh,
lesson because Alvaro was a creative guy, so he that was a good history lesson, I'm sure.
Very creative, and I started working with him, and
Yeah.
I admire him for his creativity and for the guts that he had to do things in
Yeah,
general.
he built something out of nothing. That was good.
Yeah,
And working
exactly.
for Tony, Tony was another visionary in the business for sure.
Absolutely.
For
Absolutely.
sure. And Freddie, I guess I know where you came from. So you came from Choice, I guess, right?
No, actually, a little brief history before. I started at Floral Trends
I
in
thought,
about
okay.
2003, and then I was there for 4 years, and from there I went to Equiflor for a year, and then
Okay.
I've been at Choice for about 18 years.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad I got that. I was racking my brain thinking about where everybody. I've known you so long, and I'm like, okay, I know they didn't start at Choice, so. Um, but here you are. Here is Choice Farms, and what I've found interesting about Choice Farms, from my perspective, is that in the very crowded Miami market, you guys have managed to prosper and grow when many names that we could discuss here have disappeared, who didn't make it, particularly when they if they didn't own farms. And so to make it as far as you have in that marketplace, I think is a testimony to quality and services. You know, this business is as you all know, it's a people to people business. And
Absolutely.
I've always been amazed how some of the other companies, your peers, have managed to stay in the business so long, with all the big companies that have come and gobbled up everybody and have maybe more resources because they have farms and everything else. So it's my hats off to you
Oh, thank you.
for being able to hang in there so long. Um, so maybe you can give us a little history now that we've gotten through the history lesson. Choice started 26
We
years ago.
started in 1999,
Okay.
March. So we just went through our 26th anniversary. And you're right about many companies starting at that time. It was the USA Floral when
Ah,
they when they closed the company, and shortly after Dole also did the same. They were groups of people that when those companies closed, many people set up companies.
Yep.
And a lot of salespeople that came from all of these groups set up different companies about at the same time. So you're right that we had to do something, and very early we realized, or we chose to, as opposed to everybody else, which was bringing all kind of products just like everybody else, we decided to be a specialist in roses.
Mm.
And at the time, for instance, Agriflora was a company that was very important in roses, and they had about 40 varieties. And that was a lot. Other companies had 10, 15.
Mm.
We chose to go as a specialist in roses, and now we have on daily basis between 75 to 200 varieties every single day.
Ouch.
The availability of varieties, depending on the time of the year, is more than 300. So I mean, more than 300 that we can get, and 175 to 200 on daily basis. And that doesn't count with spray roses. The spray roses, we also have between 20 and 30 every single day, and then more than 40 that we can access to. And for garden roses, we have about 30 to 40 every day, and more than 60 that we have access to. So we became rose specialists, and that's what made us different. And that is part of the success, especially at the beginning, because we were doing something very, very different as compared to the competitors that were getting all kind of flowers and competing in a price sensitive market at the time with
Yeah.
everything.
Back then, there wasn't so many varieties being grown back in '99, right? So it was they were just starting to grow more, and
Right, right.
back in the Classy days and Visa days and
Yeah.
all that.
But even for roses at the time, we had like around 100, while companies like Agriflora, I was telling you, they had about 40, and they were the rose specialists at the time.
Hmm.
And but I think we chose right. We chose, and a strategy was different, and that made us successful for many years. Nowadays, we carry other products also that we try to get a wide variety of the same products to go with the same strategy as being a specialist in a few other things.
Hmm.
So I don't know if Vicky and Freddie want to add something to that, but basically that's how we started. We've been in business 26 years, and we have a very solid company, and we're very
We have
proud.
we've always kept our ear really in tune with the trends in the industry and the trends in the market and the trends of different product lines that customers are looking for. So that's how we have evolved. And
Mhm.
I think one of the important things for any company to continue to thrive is to evolve, especially in a business like this, changes all the time.
Right, but you inventory a lot of this stuff in Miami, so
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
think that's what's different. They can call you today, and you can put it on a truck today or on an airplane or something
Exactly.
today.
Yeah, we
Um,
have a very, like Rico was saying and George was saying, we have a very strong pulse on the market, based on our experience over the years and just our day-to-day interactions with our customers, with our growers, and just even attending shows and whatnot, just constantly learning on what the market trends are. That helps us have a really strong pulse on the market to cater to what our customers are looking for consistently.
Yeah, these garden roses really have come a long way here. I think that's, if I had to say there was one thing different about roses and varieties, it's these garden roses with fragrance. And, initially you couldn't, it was difficult to sell them because they didn't have any longevity. So although they had the fragrance, they had all the right stuff except longevity. But I think the breeders have sort of fixed that now, right?
And part of the challenge also was not only the longevity, which was obviously a major issue, was also introducing to the market something that's 2 to 3 times the price of a regular rose. And
Ah,
sometimes when you would see it in a wrapper, since it hadn't hydrated and performed, it looked, not as nice as something you're already getting at a third of
right.
the price.
I remember the first time we got alabaster, which is a really, really good white garden rose. And I looked at the bunch in the box and I was like, what is this? It looks like a little ping pong ball. And we put it in water and it just developed beautifully. And we I think we were probably one of the original importers of garden roses. We stuck it through for the first year where we weren't very profitable, but we felt that it was going to be something in the market that was going to really take off. So we a lot of farms went into garden roses and then they took them out because they didn't know how to deal with them. They didn't know how to grow them. But we stuck through it and we had some good farm partners that we stuck with. And afterwards, it was very good. It was a very good business for us. It was very profitable. And we had a lot of garden roses from the get-go.
Yeah, I think, at least from my perspective, Joey at Alexandria probably has been the pioneer in most of this.
Yeah, we started our babies together. He started his and we started ours and we kind of partner on that and it worked out well for both of us. He's one of our main suppliers or our main supplier in garden roses.
Yeah, and there's nothing I like better than going to his farm and walking through his test beds, and
Ah, it's beautiful.
it's
Yeah.
Candyland, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's flower heaven.
Yeah, it's power heaven. Go in there and find one you like, and tell me why you like it. So I applaud you for doing that and sticking with it, because when you're trying to when you're trying to add one penny to a rose, a price, people
Right.
Yeah,
freak out, and then when you're doubling the price, you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
yeah.
how special could they be?
Uh-huh.
But certainly the wedding markets have jumped on all that stuff. It's a beautiful thing, and spray roses as well. I mean, I've seen such an improvement in spray roses back from the days we're getting them from Israel. Uh,
No,
you know, and now, geez, you get spray roses, and it's like a bunch in itself, or like a bouquet. One
right.
Yeah.
stem is a bouquet,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Beautiful thing.
so yeah, and now you have all sorts of other products as well besides roses, of course. What else?
Yes.
What else you carrying there?
Carry ranunculus, anemones, we carry peonies, depending on where they're being grown at the time of the year. We do a great job with stock, which is a very difficult product because it doesn't last very well, but we've done a really good job in keeping it and knowing when to buy, how many, when to sell it, and when not to. And we have a very good reputation for that product line as well. What else do we have? Anemones,
Scabiosa. Scabiosa.
scabiosas,
Delphinium.
delphiniums, larkspur, lysianthus.
Well,
So,
I would say you have obviously followed the trends, because those are the ones I see at all these shows that, but particularly
exactly.
the anemones and the ranunculus
Uh-huh.
have come a really
Right.
long way. There's the Italian ones really have, they're like roses.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bianchetti is the same thing that we've kind of dealt with, partnered with a grower of ranunculus and anemones that has a Bianchetti, which are the breeder. And we've grown up together in that aspect with that grower, with the ranunculus. So yeah, we kind of like to, if we don't set the trend, we like to follow it really close.
Well, trendsetters, they're the ones that take the brunt of it most of the time. So you have to be able to stay for the long course and hope you chose the right trend.
Yes.
And so, moving on a little bit, again, this is a personal business. This is a people-to-people business. And I'm curious, most of your sales are still done on the phone?
Yes, a lot of it. I would say probably 60-70%.
And other than that, then you have an online that can buy,
Yes.
people buy online
Right.
More
Mhm.
through Comet.
through your website, or,
Comet sales.
oh, you'd use Comet, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
Comet.
Yeah, and that's been another great innovation that I've sort
Great
of followed
tool.
Yeah.
over the years, following Alex. So now that he's sold out, now he's rich and famous now. So, but his brain moves faster than most people can think. I don't know. He once told me that he watches videos in like fast speed, because otherwise it's too slow for him.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
And
good
I would be remiss if
purchase.
I didn't ask about this tariff stuff that I know nobody wants to talk about it, but anyway, it's a real problem at the moment, or
It's
a
a
reality
reality.
we have to deal with. How are y'all handling that?
Well, we're getting the 10% tariff if it comes from Ecuador or Colombia, additional from Ecuador because Ecuador already had a duty.
Right.
And we're raising the cost of the flowers and being very
Right.
transparent and no line item, just transparency. The cost of the flowers went up. So that's how we're doing. And
Yeah, we're
customers don't like
basically increasing the cost in the same way that we're getting it. And we'll see what happens. I mean, we don't know what the long-term reaction is to the to the price increases, but it's a reality. It's just part of our cost, and we have to sell it, taking into account that that is an additional cost as of today.
Yeah, at least it's across the board, so all your competitors are having to deal with it
exactly.
the same way, how they do
Exactly.
it is,
Exactly. Now we need to see what the market how the market reacts to
yes.
that. And then, but we have to do what we have to do. We cannot absorb it. Farms are not absorbing it either. And we'll see what happens in the market. But we're trying to, the cost increase is only in the flowers, not in the freight. Uh,
Right.
so it's not 100% of the cost of the flower. It's just I'm sorry, it's the whole product in Miami is only the flower cost,
Yes.
FOB, Quito, or Bogota.
And are you heavy towards Ecuador? With roses, I guess you're pretty heavy to Ecuador, yes.
We're heavy to Ecuador, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're heavy to Ecuador, but as far as an increase, it's the same, 10-10. The other
Right.
6.8
It was
was
already
already there.
there. Yeah, you had
Yeah.
already had absorbed that or
So we
had
need
that
to deal
along.
with the 10% only in both countries. So
Yeah, and hopefully negotiations can sort of mitigate some of that, but who knows? This is crazy times and we don't everything is a bit unpredictable at the
we
moment.
just have to wait and see. We do what we have to do, and then we wait and see how the market reacts in general. So
And how is the market feeling? Are you so far? It's too soon, I think, to really get to
yeah,
see
I
what's
believe
going
it's
to
too soon,
happen.
but maybe Freddie can tell us something about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Freddie is the president of WUFSA. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very
Uh,
much.
you got a big job. And Freddie, as I think I've told you privately, and I don't know why I'm who am I to be saying this, but I was sort of proud of you that you went from a salesman or whatever to end up being president of WUFSA. And that's not only is that a big job, but it sort of suggests that you're willing to be involved in the industry, and we need that young blood in the industry, as we well know. So I'm really happy to see you there, and again, congratulations, and now tell us the hard part. Come on.
Well, thank you very much for that. I greatly appreciate it. Thankfully, to this point, the market hasn't uh, shown any resistance because of the increases. But like we've been saying, it is definitely too early to see how that's going to play out. Um, if we're gonna, I always like to believe that if we're gonna think, we're gonna think positive and believe that we're gonna overcome this. And in an ideal world, we get over these tariffs sooner rather than later, and we can all just proceed with our lives. But if we're gonna think, we're gonna think positive and just keep going through and keep pushing through and hope for the best.
And
Willie, I know you've got to remember when we had and I might say the letters wrong, ATPDA or whatever.
yeah.
Remember that?
I remember, sure.
Okay, we survived that. We survived. Oh, this business is resilient. You adjust and you move on because we can't change the world.
Yeah.
We can only
No.
participate in it.
Yeah, we got to work within it. Well, my father has, way back when he always said, look, the flower business, people always buy flowers. People are going to buy
Exactly.
flowers, no matter what, good times, bad times. There's weddings and funerals and events that are happening all the time that
Mhm.
flowers have become, thankfully, are a part of those events that
Exactly.
Right.
you sort of can't live without.
And COVID recently reminded us of that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, apart from the brief pause that we had, I mean, we quickly rebounded to a strong floral market. So
Yeah, I had my prediction. I'm not sure it's true yet. I don't know that I have any facts to back it up. But anyway, I thought that after COVID, when we had the good part of COVID and that people were buying flowers like crazy, and you couldn't get enough of it, I tend to think that about 10% of those people that never bought flowers before, who bought flowers, stuck. You know,
Yeah.
they continue to buy flowers. I think
Yes.
it did increase. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes.
yes, we
Definitely,
see
yeah,
that
definitely.
Hmm.
on
Increase
all
the
segments of the
demand.
industry.
Freddie, did Worcester doesn't have a pack or a presence on Capitol Hill like SAF. Does Worcester then work with SAF in that respect?
Yes, we do. And actually, I don't know if it's been shared with you recently, but we've actually just about 2 weeks ago, we had a floral industry summit where all the associations, the presidents or representatives of every association from SAF to AFIA to, I mean, Cal Flowers, like everybody was represented. And
Okay.
we all had like a round table for like 2 hours. And it's something that we're going to try to do more often because to unite as much of our powers as possible to all try to accomplish the same goals. Because pretty much that's what we're all trying to do is to accomplish the same goals. So we're working on trying to work better together as an industry with other associations to accomplish what we need to accomplish.
Well, that's good. I think that's a definite plus here in the whole thing. Um, and okay, so Choice Farms mostly sells to wholesalers, I believe.
Totally.
Absolutely, yes.
I haven't seen you in the bouquet business
Oh,
or
No.
okay.
Mm-mm.
So you focused on wholesalers
Traditional market, yeah.
and I think that's well, I believe that's the way to go, particularly as a rose provider,
mhm.
specialist. That's where the roses are happening, are going through that channels. And even though we've seen consolidation on certainly on the grower side and probably some more on the wholesale side. You know, I just published
Absolutely.
that Mayish took some money from a private equity firm and again, I find that sort of suggesting that the market is healthy. Oh, my dogs are getting excited here. The market is healthy because if people from those venture capital money, wherever that comes from anyway, um, the fact that they're willing to invest in flowers sort of suggests that they see something that perhaps we've seen all along, that it's a good business and you can make money in it.
Right. Mhm.
So I'm going to throw up not throw up. I'm going to put up on the website. I'm going to put up on the website choicefarms.com, which is how people can find you. And as I said, my job here, I have lots of retailers watching, will be watching this, and I've got growers and importers and wholesalers. So I think my job is to hopefully get the word out there. The Choice Farms has been around many years. And again, that just the fact that you've been around so long suggests that people trust you, people value what you do, people are willing to stick with you, and when they have multiple choices or many choices that they could forgive the reference, but they have lots of choices.
Well, I think, Willie, that one of the main reasons, aside from obviously good quality and consistency and being on the edge of the market needs, why it has made Choice Farms be so long lasting is because we have treated our employees or our team and also our growers and definitely our customers through the years with respect, transparency, dignity, and fairness. And we realize it takes more than an importer to create this business that we do. It takes all of those people, definitely the employees, and definitely the growers and our customers. Without our customers, we wouldn't have a business. Without our growers, we wouldn't have a business, and without our people, we wouldn't have a business. So I think that's a really important.
Well said. And in conclusion, I'd like to say again that I'm happy I've got particularly George and Vicky on here because
Thank you.
part of what I'm doing in my little adventure here with Flowers and Scents is, sort of a history lesson, and I'm trying to chronicle and capture the people that have been part of this industry and have made this industry what it is. And clearly, you two are part of it.
Oh, I left something out. I was a
What?
founding partner of EcoFloor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Little detail.
Yeah, yeah, you become, well, you're part of the industry and you're part of the history, and I'm glad I got this opportunity to sit with you all and know you a little better than walking through the halls of many a show, just saying hello and how are you and walking on. So
Hmm.
I'm
We
glad we get
appreciate the
this
opportunity.
opportunity. So to all of you, thank you, and I'll publish this on Tuesday. Okay.
Okay.
And I look forward to the reaction and hopefully you'll get some phone calls.
Thank you very
Fantastic.
much.
We also like to thank you for the opportunity to show to you and to your audience who we are. I mean, we're very proud of what we do. We've been in business for 26 years, and we have a very solid company, and we're very proud of our employees, which make this company good. And most of the people here have been working at least 15 years, many between 20 and 25.
Wow,
So
Mhm.
that's
that's a good testimony.
yeah, exactly. And I wanted to mention that because we were doing a few internal things here and then realized it really digested the fact that people have been here for a long, long time. 20, 25 years. We thought that we didn't have the only ones that are very new, like 2 or 3 years, are 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And to me, we must be doing something right if people are happy here working and helping everybody to make the company successful.
Yeah, well, you've given them careers, not just jobs,
Yes.
and that's rare these days. So,
So
um, all right,
very proud of it.
Zoom is telling me I'm running out of time. So thank you very much. Appreciate it, and
Thank you.
you all stay safe.
And we'll see you.
Thank you.
Take care.
See you at another convention.
Yes,
For
sir.
sure.
Bye.
Okay,
All
bye
right,
now.
thanks, and take care.
Adios.
Bye.